1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz.
Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talkshow podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talkshow podcast.
Still try to be a good offspring to them, and you respect them and so on. But if you never had that as a child, and maybe when you're older, what is your view? Would you adhere to that commandment?
I think it'd be divided into two parts. So the first part would be, I think the first part would be, you look at it from the respect for authority. So be in the home or outside the home, actually, because whatever happens in the home then transcends to what happens outside. Hence the saying, charity begins at home. Now, the other part, well, that's the two parts. But then the part of it that I'll be thinking is, two wrongs don't actually make a right. So if your parents are, not behaving the way that, a normal parent should, and that, it stands to question. Don't say, what's a normal parent? But a normal parenting or a normal parent. But if your parents fall short of the requirements, the basic requirements of, carrying out their parental responsibilities, as we'd call it, would that then free you of the, your responsibility as a child to not obey your parents? I think it would depend on how far they go, and then it would depend on what sort of damage psychologically that has caused you as a child. And I'll explain that. So for instance, if a child growing up, a child's natural instinct is to push boundaries. A child will push boundaries. I told you not to do that. And they'll do it. They just want to see what punishment comes, And then if there's no adequate reproof, what they then do is they take it a step further. Now, reverse that and apply it to the parents. So the parents are actually not doing what they're supposed to do. No, that doesn't relieve you of the of the commandment or of your responsibility as a child, which you're not very responsible as a child, are you? Let's face it. As a child, you're dependent solely on the guidance of whoever is there, be your parents or your guardian or whoever is there to bring you up. So you're dependent on them to guide you in life. And if that is not there, then you're bound to be either wayward, depends on how far it goes, or be rebellious. And that would spill over into adulthood. But as a child, now if you ask me that question as a child, I would say absolutely not. I will not obey them because they're not setting a good example, because they're not doing this. Because that's a natural instinct as a child. But when you grow up, it's a different thing, because you then understand it a little bit. It doesn't mean that you're making excuses. I can't remember the word I was looking for there, but it doesn't mean that you're condoning their inadequacies as an adult. It just means that you have now come to the realization that you sort of understand a little bit, whether negatively or positively. So you could either judge them positively with understanding a little bit, or you could just, judge them negatively and say, right, they were a total failure, a total disaster. But the fact that you're alive, it says something, doesn't it? Because There are parents that would actually go out their way to actually harm their children because they are that frustrated with their own lives. They don't know what to do. And they think, well, I've got enough problems on my own to then look after this child. So yeah, it doesn't relieve you of the fact that you still have to, because you're not at the end of the day, you're not really doing it for them, because they still got their own lives to live. They still, if they still commit a crime in the eyes of the law, they'll still go down for it, and that has nothing to do with you. Now, if you commit a crime as an adult of 18 and you say, well, it's because of my upbringing, the law doesn't recognize that. The law doesn't make there's no allowances in the law for that. So it's better that you actually try to obey them. Maybe they're maltreating you, as long as it's not abuse. Abuse is something different. But as long as it's not abuse, as long as it's...
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor Gear and Emmy Hikins.
The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us. Please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, three beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the show. His contribution's thoughtful and smart.